Well, hello there, and welcome to Breakfast with the PMs, our brand new podcast. I'm the only one talking.
Hello, it's Ellie here.
Hello.
Good morning.
This is our brand new podcast, like I said, called Breakfast with the PMs because Dad's already had his toast and avocado, haven't you?
Delicious.
And we've all got our drinks. Everyone's drinking a coffee.
Yeah, a nice little coffee.
Except for Matthew, who's got his hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Too much cream.
Too much cream.
Yeah.
And you may be wondering, if there's anyone listening, why we're doing a podcast. And that's a very good question to ask. Pam.
Pam? You're going to call me Pam?
Am I allowed to call you Pam? That's worth thinking about, isn't it?
Just quickly to say that Matthew is about the only person in the world who's allowed to call me Pam.
Yes, we should
Philly
start
here.
the podcast there.
Okay. My name is Philly. Or Philippa. And there's only a very handful of people who are allowed to call me Pam. What's the question? How does this come about?
Yeah. And why?
Well, do we want to start how the idea came about when we were skiing?
Yeah.
Right.
So it was earlier this year. We were in Sur Chevalier. Brilliant ski resort. Nobody go there because we love it. We like the fact that the slopes are clear. So horrendous place to ski. Please don't go
Terrible.
there. And we were sitting around the breakfast table, enjoying our continental breakfast, delicious croissants, etc. And these two, Matthew and Ellie, started asking questions. Mm-hmm. We were trying to get out on the slopes, but you asked questions, and before we knew it...
And every time it feels... Because we live... Matthew and Ellie basically live in our little annex, and which means that we try and eat together. In fact, when we've skied before, we said, come on, we need to try and eat together more often and see each other more, because actually our lives we can be like ships in the night and not actually see each other. But every time when we've sat down to eat together, you guys always say, oh, I wish we were recording this. And I think it's because I don't know, why do you want to record it? Just say why you want to record it.
I think it's gold. I think it's all good.
We got a slight emergency.
Your
Ellie's
mic
got
just
microphones.
My microphone's fallen over,
Joking.
guys.
That's
It's falling
crazy.
Oh no, hold on. That's like quick readjustment to the microphone.
Yeah, this is episode 1.
Yeah, and
We're
already
learning.
technical issues.
We're learning. There's going to be some teething issues.
But we still actually haven't really got to why we're doing this, have we? Or have we?
Well, you might have just saying it's gold.
Gold.
It is gold. And I think...
We basically just realised that we wanted to capture the moments. We wanted to be able to listen back to the conversations that we were having and remember the gold dust, because life happens and you often forget what's said, and it was clearly a good chat for us to miss skiing. So we would love to just carry on capturing what we chat about, and to be able to pass it down to maybe our children and anyone else who wants to listen, any friends that maybe just find it nice to listen to.
Well, all of our friends that have spent any time with either of you has said it's been, what did Zoe say the other night? Life-changing.
Oh, I think she said it was like the best conversation she's had in the past like 3 years, but then she said, don't tell her that.
What?
Yeah, when she came to walk the dog with you, she probably... well, I've said it
It
now.
was sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Don't tell her, Pike.
She said that she didn't know, it wasn't meant to be big questions or anything, but you suddenly just started
Okay.
like you
Yeah.
do.
Okay, like I do. Okay, I'm a little bit long-winded.
No,
Yeah.
it's all great. And so I think for us, we have the privilege of getting to have breakfast with you whenever we want and ask these questions. And I know that a lot of our friends would find it helpful as well. And so if one of them is listening and takes anything from it, then great. But all that being said, we're just a normal family. Well, I think we're normal, but...
Yeah. And I think also it's quite interesting over the years, one or two people may have said to us, "Oh, you guys should write a book." And, Dad and I just think, "Oh, so boring. Well, why would anybody want to read that?" And then, but then, I don't know, other people sort of like, no, there's stuff to say, and I sort of think, oh, well, maybe we have learnt one or two things over the years.
There is stuff to say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think because it's our life and we kind of live it, we're probably not aware that there's anything of interest particularly in it. It's just us.
Yeah.
But it's definitely slightly bizarre when people say that, because you're right. We kind of think, well, what is there to say that's of any,
And I think also, I think it's because, with our peers and our mates, they've bumped along through, properly bumped along through life with us. We have the most unbelievable friends who we've just done life with. And, that group of friends started from what was called our pastorate, which is like our home group, 30 plus years ago. And they are lifelong friends, and everyone's around the world, but we're still massively connected. And so they've they've seen us, and we just think, well, they just think it's Patrick and Philly, whereas...
bit odd.
Yeah.
But they're our friends.
Yeah. And I think, they know that we've lived a pretty unconventional life, very unconventional, particularly in the way we've done our finances, probably. And then I think then for you guys and for your generation, your mates haven't seen how all the ups and downs that we've gone through.
No.
They haven't lived the life. They haven't seen and literally walked through every moment with us. And, it has been a sort of, well, ups and downs and a bit of a roller coaster in many ways, just stuff. And so, yeah, maybe there is stuff to say to the next generation.
I think also it's just interesting what you say about that friendship group, because I think we sort of in latter years, we've come to realise how special that's been.
Yeah.
Because people comment on sort of looking in from the outside, almost in a jealous way, that there are those deep friendships that have travelled 30 plus years, and our children have kind of grown up together as well. Mm-hmm. And not everyone has that. And there's a danger that we take it for granted. I don't think we do, but
No.
I don't think you do.
You kind of wait, when somebody comments that, you wake up and think, yeah, that is quite special.
And it is amazing. And you're mates with our mates, not just their kids.
Is that weird for you?
No, it's nice.
Oh, it's so nice. It's
I
like
love
you
your
planning.
friends.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're planning your birthday party and you want our mates to come.
Well, your wedding. It was great because you invited all our friends.
You did. Yeah.
What do you think has been the key to those long-standing friendships then?
Gosh, she's a podcaster. What a question.
Okay. Well, there's three things for me. First is time. You need time. And the second is vulnerability. And I do think... I think those are my top two. I've always said time and vulnerability. Sometimes I sort of think effort, but actually I just think friendship needs to be releasing. I think that when you put pressure on one another, like my girlfriends, we're not messing each other all the time, but we just know we deeply love each other, and it's very releasing. But we're right there for each other. I mean, my gorgeous Stasia lives on the other side of the world for me. And yet she's there. I know she's there. We connect. We do properly connect as soon as we catch up. She's rubbish on comms. And we tell her all the time. But you know, she's the other side of the world. But it's just releasing. It's not pressurized. But I think the key to it all, and we have been massively blessed by being able to particularly go to Westwinds, the family holiday in Cornwall, family holiday house, because we had space. So I think the key has been holidaying together. Because when you're living at close quarters, you see each other, you know, in your best and in your worst. And, you know, and funny enough, the worst can come out of you when you're in the kitchen cooking together. Yeah. It's like, okay, let's
you don't chop an onion like that.
No,
you
exactly.
Chop it like this.
So let's not be too controlling in the kitchen. Yeah. Or we just work out again how to sort of. But so then that meant like we were there before kids arrived, hanging out, having the funnest time, and then with babies, you know, we were doing babies together, and I'll never forget. You know, I mean, both Zach and Charlie were struggling with feeding or eating or sleeping, or, you know, it was not, just all of us, you know, were in it together. And literally we were all piled in a house. And so then you guys grew up and they're like cousins. So I think the thing about cousins is you don't have to explain yourself to each other. No. You don't have to say, you tuck in very, like, you're not doing life with our mates' friends, no. But there's still a very deep connectedness.
Your mates' children.
Exactly. That's right. That's what I meant. So you know, you love them, but you're not hanging out all the time. You're not doing life.
Yeah.
So, but there's just a deep connectedness when you see each other because you're like cousins. You don't have to explain yourself to each other. You know, that's what it feels like to me anyway.
I think, you know, what you said about vulnerability is a big one there. Because I do remember us in our pastorate group, and we decided, it was very early on, we decided to tell our kind of testimony, our life story. And one of our friends kind of kicked off, and it was a bit of a surprise because he's not the sort of guy, certainly back then, that sort of wore his heart on his sleeve, quite a cool character. But he opened up, and he opened up in a very vulnerable way and talked about very painful things. You know, his brother falling off a mountain and dying, and how he just struggled with that and faith and all that sort of thing after that event. And I remember we were all in bits, absolutely. We were all over the place. There was snot and tears going on.
But you think that set the tone for the vulnerability?
It cracked everything open. And suddenly everyone realised, actually, with this group, we don't need to hold anything back. We can be real. And I think that's it. You share the best of times and you share the worst of times.
Yeah, and funnily enough, so then when it came to Stasia giving her testimony, Stasia, love you to bits. When you gave your testimony, I have to say, when I first met you, I didn't really like you. Well, it was just because I could not, and I didn't get you, and I didn't know where you were coming from. And then you told your story, and I went, okay, I get where this girl's coming from now. And I just made a beeline for her, and I thought, you are going to be my friend, and I pursued you. And it's amazing.
How many years later?
Well, what are we on, 35?
Come on.
Yeah, so cool.
So much fun.
Friendships.
Good question, Ellie.
I can't even remember what the question was.
Well, we always end up doing that, don't we?
How do you kind of keep that longevity of friendship throughout the years? And you said time and vulnerability.
Time and vulnerability for me are the main things.
Do you think that is time like with each other or time over years, or a bit of both?
I think the first informs the second.
Yeah.
You know, when you spend time with people and you're enjoying that time, and even when you're not, actually, when it's hard, but because you love them, you're just determined to do the journey. And you know, life has happened over the years to all of our friends in different ways.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, they're there for us, and we're there for them, and you know, that's kind of how it's meant to be.
But there's no question the way women do friendship is different to how men do it. So I love just sitting around chatting with my friends for hours and hours and hours, whereas you boys just seem to like doing stuff together, don't you? You're like, well, let's go and do stuff. And I'm always jealous. I always feel like men. No, well, it seems this is my take on it. Men know how to enjoy themselves. Like you would just chuck a rugby ball around the garden and be happy, or whatever it is. You just seem to know how to enjoy each other. Girls just want to go and chat and have coffee.
But maybe that's a way of them knowing how to enjoy themselves. Like maybe that's how women enjoy themselves, is by just having a chinwag.
Definitely.
Having a
Well,
coffee.
I remember, this is years ago when we lived in London. I remember I'd go off, you know, I'd organised to go off and do a boat trip down on the south coast somewhere. And
Drag me along.
No, I didn't drag you along. I mean, sometimes I did, and it was dragging. But I just remember you saying, I've forgotten what I enjoy doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just remember being really quite sad about that. Because it was just sort of natural and easy for me. But what you would always say, which I think is absolutely true, is if you wanted to do something, when you remembered you liked doing something,
playing tennis or something,
you'd have to then put plans in place
100%.
For looking after the children, whereas I would just go.
Absolutely.
And that was
you would
true.
say you might say,
I'm going to play golf.
I'm going to play golf.
Gonna, whatever.
And I go, great, happy days, have a great time. But if I said I want to go and play tennis or do something or other, I will have thought about everything that needs thinking about, including
food.
What's for supper and organising everything. Whereas I'm like, I was so
Who's
jealous.
going to come in and change the boys' nappies?
You were, because you were certainly one. And it was like...
Did you not change my nappy, Dad?
I did. There's one particular nappy that I remember even today. And we were down at the Old 100, which is Hugo's sort of mum's house, and there was a big party or something. And your mother had a little bit too much of the good stuff the night before and was a touch hungover. And I had to do your nappy, and it was outside the room. And I don't know what you'd eaten, but my word, it was a humdinger. And she could hear me retching.
So
as I'm trying, apparently.
You did 2 nappies, basically.
I did more than 2, for goodness sake.
Did you do any of James's, or
Yes.
did I put you off
Well,
for life?
yeah, it didn't help, that's for sure. But I mean, there's this standing thing that I did 2 nappies, but I did way more than 2.
Yeah, but then
It's
you
probably
see,
4.
we also lived when we lived opposite John and Min in London, Patrick's sister and brother-in-law, and so, which was incredible. It was such a blessing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you also, you had your cousins over the road, and I would frequently just go and dump you over on poor Min, which, to be fair, sometimes I had to. When Dad was dialysing and there was a bit of a crisis, I would literally dump you on her.
Yeah.
But you loved playing with your cousins. Obviously, that was fab. So they would dress you up in goodness knows what, and you loved the playhouse, the Wendy house, and all of that.
Princess outfits, wasn't it?
Yeah, mermaid.
Yeah, I loved
Well,
that
they were all
mermaid.
girls
Apart from
until
Tiger.
Tigers
Yeah.
turned up.
Yeah.
But anyway, early days, living opposite. I can't remember what I was saying now.
I don't know, but I mean, just the fact that we
the
lived
nappies.
opposite. Yeah.
I mean,
amazing.
John will say that he did Matthew's nappies and cut his toenails and fingernails and cleaned his ears out, which he did. I've got a bit of an aversion to cleaning out ears. And so
John, I'm actually due another one, so I'll be around next week if that's all right.
And so, literally, John was like, not that long ago, you said to me, Mum, did you actually look after me?
I've turned out all right, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
You survived
Dear little
our
boys.
parenting.
But we've slightly sidetracked away from the intro and explaining what this podcast is about. And a lovely interlude, chatting about your lovely friends.
Nappies.
My friends, sorry.
Said nappies.
Nappies.
Nappies. I thought you said my friends.
No, sorry, that was unhelpful interlude.
We were kind of explaining or trying to explain why we're doing this. And I don't think you really know, for me, it's for our friends, but also for our children as well. Have a few nuggets of gold for them from their grandparents. Not that we have any right now.
No.
And we were also thinking about, on that ski trip when we were talking about it, you said, well, who's going to listen? Like, who's it for? And we, thinking about it, we basically thought it is for anyone, but I think most helpfully probably for our generation, for those, about to go through all of the stuff that you're going to talk about. And we haven't even got a theme. The theme is breakfast with the PMs. We're not going to talk about church or, all the time. It's not going to be specific stuff. It's literally going to be what's going on in ours and your lives, present, topical to today. And we'll just see what happens. Maybe some people will send in a question or two that they want answering, like on gay marriage. And, don't tell him, Pike. Maybe we'll cut that.
Might need to explain the "don't tell them, Pike" thing.
Yeah, true.
Our family talks in quotes. What's that one from, Dad?
Well, that's Dad's army.
Yeah.
That's Captain Mannering saying to Pike,
Yeah.
"Don't speak, Pike.
Don't tell him your name,
Tell him
Pike.
your name." We do a lot of film quotes, don't we? Actually,
A lot.
John, my brother-in-law, gets really cross about that.
Because we talk to each other in quotes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've also gotten in my notes here that it's to see people thrive and pass on to the next generation some encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we basically just realised that all the conversations we were having were just really good, and it'd be cool just to be able to put it in one place and just come, and for us to also just listen to it whenever we wanted to as well.
It's quite funny because, when you guys first sort of suggested this while we were in the Alps, I think we were a little perplexed in a way because all we're doing is spouting.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Why would
talking,
anyone want to listen?
Talk. And
Though I have to say, it's actually not the first time. When you did say, we should... Well, actually, when you said we should do a podcast, I think somebody else had said that. Maybe it was Jamesy.
yeah,
I think it was.
Maybe.
Somebody else had said it anyway. But we're actually doing it.
Here we are.
So, should we talk about the context of where we are in life at the moment?
Go on then. Where are you at life in the moment, Ellie?
Well, I'm currently in my living room.
Which is where?
In Stenning, in Sussex.
You're doing our address.
Oh, not quite.
People knocking.
Beautiful. We live
I'm not
at
sure
the
that'd
foot of
be
the
that
Downs.
interesting.
Yeah, we have some chickens. We've got 3 chickens at the moment, 1 dog, and 1 husband. That's what I've got.
That's handy.
We
Your mic's drooping.
My
the
mic is
most-
drooping.
We're having some mic issues. But Matthew and I have been married for nearly 2 years. It'll be 2 years in October. And we've lived in quite a few different countries since being married. Cornwall, oh, that's not a country, but
some people would say it is.
Yeah, the Cornish would say it's a country.
France, we've done a couple of ski seasons. We recently just did a big old travel to New Zealand, Australia, and Bali, which was very fun. But we're back in humble Sussex and we love it here. Living with the in-laws.
Yeah, that's a question, isn't it? I think some people are asking you, how is it living with your mother-in-law?
We love it.
Yeah, it's great. We love it so much.
And your parents are just up the road.
Yeah, it's kind of great. What about you guys? What's the context of your life?
Oh my days, where do we start?
That's a crazy question.
Okay, how long have you been married for?
Is that a trick question?
It is. It's a test for Patrick.
I think 35.
Yeah, just done our 35th.
It was
That's
91.
huge.
I remember the year we got married. It was 91. May the 18th.
Yeah,
Very good year.
very good, yeah.
How long have you lived in Sussex for?
21 years.
Yeah, moved
we
in from
moved-
London.
2005 we moved.
Yeah. And we love where we live. We live in the most incredible location. The cottage has its challenges, and I get a bit kind of, we need to move.
Every winter.
Every winter.
Yeah.
When I struggle through the January particularly, and it's freezing cold and there's a lot of mud, and then when you dump your dog on us for the winter and we have no boot room and no dog room,
Bonita,
I
the
struggle.
puppy.
She's
I
cute,
struggle
though.
with the mud and the dog hair, but I love her to bits.
That's like
And the walking is incredible, isn't it? And the walking is so good for me, I find, just to get me out in
Yeah,
creation
it's beautiful.
is so good.
Although I would say in the winter and January it's probably,
Yeah.
it's more like ice skating really. Mud skating.
So, when we moved here, Matthew was 8, James was 4. And again, context really is, we think it's a very boring story about Patrick's needing to be on a dialysis machine. But, the fact is, Patrick's now been dialysing for 33 years. So on a dialysis machine, puts 2 needles in his arm every day for 12 years, and now every night since 2006. And 20 years you've been dialysing overnight. So we have a machine by our bed. I have to be, or someone has to be with you, put you on the machine, take you off the machine, and keeps you alive. So we're very grateful. And, there's lots of challenges around dialysis. I think for the first 12 years you were thirsty, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
Because when your kidneys have failed, you don't pee.
When was the last time you had a wee, Dad?
1994.
And that was after the transplant.
Yeah, which didn't last that long. So the original disease that destroyed my kidneys, my mum gave me one of her kidneys on the 5th of November 1993, and it stopped working sometime in February 94 and was removed in the summer of 94, basically because the original disease had attacked it super fast and killed it, basically. But yeah, it was 94 would have been the last time I peed.
And you were actually in and out of hospital, really, you've kind of forgotten this, for about 4 years at one point.
Yeah.
So much of that has sort of shaped us, how we think, how we live, how we just respond to situations. So now, when you were doing daytime dialysis, so you've always had a machine at home, and so you would dialyse Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoons for 5 hours, and Sunday afternoons for 4 hours. It takes an hour and a half to set up the machine. It takes about half an hour to come off. And in the daytime, you were absolutely wiped out afterwards. You felt rough as anything. So our evenings were right off And then at the time, when we lived in London, you were working in retail. And so you worked Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. So actually you never had a day off. And, so that just shaped a lot of life. And then when we moved down here, you have a very forward-thinking consultant who is amazing. You're still with him, which is fantastic. And he said, would you want to try a sort of modernisation initiative, it was called, wasn't it?
I can't remember what it was called, but I know that he was looking at improving patient outcomes and just well-being in life and so on. And he'd seen that in Holland they were doing nocturnal dialysis, so overnight hemodialysis. So it's the ones with needles as opposed to, anyway, it's getting a bit technical, COPD,
and
which is
gruesome.
But
yes,
but
needle alert.
we were invited to go out and chat to the doctors, but also to a patient out there, which we did. And the thing that was most inspiring was listening to the patient. And she'd had, I think, 3 or 4 transplants. And transplant is the kind of, for a renal patient, somebody with kidney failure, that's the kind of gold star. That's the answer, is getting a transplant. But she argued that actually this nocturnal dialysis was every bit as good, if not better, than a transplant, because she wasn't on any meds. And when you have a transplant, you have a suppressed immune system in order to keep the transplant viable and stop the body's immune system attacking it, etc. And she was just very compelling. And so we thought, okay, let's give it a go. And I didn't think it would work particularly for me because I was never able to sleep on the machine while I was doing daytime. And it took me, I don't know, it was quite a long time.
About 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months to learn to sleep on the machine when we were doing that started
which
the
I think
nighttime.
was about a confidence that your needles weren't going to fall out.
But it was also to do with the pressures. So the machine used to alarm when I did daytime if I dropped off. And we did have lots of alarms. I mean, this is all getting very technical. But later on, we changed the system from a single needle to 2, and that quietened things down a lot. But basically, it was a game changer because you and Jamesy, were sort of an age where dialysis was impacting your lives, whereas shifting the treatment to overnight, you were asleep when it happened, so it didn't anymore. Yeah. But the other thing was, because I was doing so much dialysis every night, 8 hours, my dietary, so I could drink pretty much what I wanted, which was a game changer.
What were you limited to on daytime?
Half a litre over a day, a day and a half, basically.
Half a litre of
fluid
drink or liquid?
Just liquid.
And food?
Yep. So, if you have a bowl of rice, quite a lot of water in that, or pasta, or gravy on your roast. It's all in the so the amount of literal drink that you can have is really quite small. So I used to munch ice blocks to try and quench my thirst, chewed a lot of chewing gum.
What's the recommended amount, Ellie, that I should be drinking?
Oh, I think I looked it up the other day. I think it's maybe 2.5 to 3 litres.
A day?
Yeah.
You're limited to
half
a litre.
So
a can of Coke is
330 mils.
I could be wrong there, but I
That
think
sounds
it's
about
roughly
right.
about that.
Yeah. An ice block, I mean, depends on your ice tray, is about 25 to 30 mils.
The fact that you even know that.
I absolutely. Well, some of our friends still slightly laugh. I mean, particularly, my sister and so, my mother-in-law. If I have a drink, if it's a hot drink, it's got to be, you got to heat the cup first. It's got to be scalding hot. If I have a cold drink, it's got to be ice cold. Anything in the middle is not going in.
Because back in the day, the drink had to be perfect so that it was worth it.
Exactly. It was
Crazy.
worth the quota.
And also, what you don't realise is how much of life revolves around drinking.
Yeah.
Meet you for a coffee. Come round for a cup of tea. Let's go out for a beer.
So true.
Pass the port.
Pass the port.
Do you know what I mean? It's literally... It's crazy. We go to a...
Pass the pudding wine in your case.
Oh, shush. Or not. But now you've thrown me.
No, it's so true. Like, so many social events. Like, I'm always texting people to meet out for a drink, and I guess people, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have known that about you, that you were only limited to half a litre. Like,
particularly a lot of our friends, because of this Nocturnal, and you've been on it for how long did you say now?
20
years.
20
Yeah.
years.
And it, you know, it was hard. It was really, well, it was hard for you. You just were this raging thirst. And so, for instance, you know, going on, holidays, that's a whole other subject. Going on holiday is really difficult for anybody on dialysis. So we've been blessed in so many ways in that respect. But you know, just being in a hot place, you're pacing around just trying to, you know, not think about drinking. Or we go to a dinner party, you know, or having supper with friends. I'd get a kick under the table, which is we're going now because the drinking as well. Not, you know, I'm not saying there was sort of lots of drunkenness. I'm just saying volume.
Yeah,
it was
just
volume. Fluid is like agony. Just constantly thinking of not being or not drinking. And what's annoying for you is you were somebody who would like happily down a pint of squash. Whereas I'm like sip, 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 and you know, you talk about like you were always amazed that you know, I don't drink enough water, or Matthew doesn't drink enough water. You know, I have to really push myself to drink, whereas you would love to just you know gulp.
I mean, the idea of a nice cold pint was just, oh my goodness, that was a dream. And actually, when the whole system changed to the Nocturnal, it's one of the first things I did. It was funny. We saw somebody last night who mentioned that they happened to be what?
No, I'm just coughing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me don't
tell him
Pike. They happened to be Googling my brother. Just because they suddenly realised there was another Pearson Miles in the church and they didn't know who it was. And right underneath Simon's name was mine. And it was
Google.
On Google. And it was from a Guardian article 20 years ago, talking about nocturnal dialysis. And I'd completely forgotten about this. And I'm not sure how that even came about. But anyway, what they were focusing on was this dialysis patient, me, who had his first pint.
There's a picture of you.
Yeah. And I remember having it. I'm not sure whether I'll get my consultant into trouble here, but going up to Guy's and arranging to see Cormac.
You really are getting into trouble.
Lunchtime to have a celebratory pint of beer. And I don't think he's meant to, as a doctor, drink during working hours, but he joined me.
Not with a patient.
And
Operations went very well after that.
Well, thankfully he wasn't a surgeon. He was a physician. He's a physician. But he was just saying, this is extraordinary. I have never done this before, because every patient who's got renal problems is on such tight fluid restrictions, and there we were drinking a pint of beer each.
Well, and also
it was crazy.
Just
amazing.
Your diet as well. We went up to Guy's to train. We had a few nights in hospital, and then your consultant had said, right, go out and eat what you like. And so you went out, we went to a cafe, and you had a plate of piled high mushrooms on toast and a banana milkshake. Well, renal patients are not allowed to eat mushrooms, and you're not allowed to eat bananas.
Because there's potassium of phosphate.
And I was like, you can't eat that. And you were like, yes, I can. And,
and I did.
You love those things.
Oh,
You have
So
mushrooms every day.
Well,
But-
very good for you.
Yeah, very good for you. But it's just, thinking about going to somebody's for supper or whatever, and you'd have to give them a great big long list of what you can't eat and please hold the salt and da 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 da.
Yeah.
We don't have to think about that anymore.
No.
So why is that when you go from daytime to nighttime? What's that difference? Like, how come it's so much more flexible?
Purely the amount of so if you think that a normal hospital offering dialysis to its patients offer them maximum of 4 hours 3 times a week, and I'm doing 8 hours 7 nights a week, so it's almost like my chemistry is normal. It's not quite, but it's as close as you're going to get. But the other thing is, I think Bonnie's just dropped one.
Has she?
That's the dog, by the way.
Yeah. But the one of the other upsides is when you're doing so few hours, they have to crank up the pump speed on the machine to around 450 mils of blood pumping round per minute, which puts a huge amount of strain on your heart. And often, as I've said, people are restricted to half a litre of fluid, but often they just can't. And so they're taking off 1.5 litres, sometimes even 2 litres in just 4 hours. And it just puts such strain on the body, which is why I was so tired often.
Oh, yeah.
And I was doing even more hours, even on daytime, because I was doing it at home myself. But with nocturnal, I could bring the pump speed right down. So I run a pump speed of 180, gentle on the heart, 180 mils per minute. And if I drink 2 litres, it's coming off over 8 hours and not 4, double the time. So again, far less strain on the body. So it was a game changer in lots of different ways, and not least freeing up my days. So when we go skiing, I have to go back to the old system because we have to book into a local hospital. I get offered 3 sessions in a week, and we always try to persuade them to give me at least 5 hours. So I'm doing 15 hours
Takes
as
a bit of
opposed to
persuading.
12. Yeah. But the whole thing around drink and diet kind of comes back again. And, we go for a week skiing, but I spend 3 of those days in the hospital. So I miss almost half of the week. And so that sort of thing was huge when, at home with the nocturnal system, my days are free. So I can work, I can do what everyone else does.
And it was really interesting timing in terms of the stage of life that we were at when you switched to nighttime, because Matthew, you were about 9, Jamesy was 4.5.
We'll have just moved it.
Yeah, it was
Pretty much. It was a year after.
Not quite a year, wasn't it? Yeah, we moved in March, but the night started on January or whatever. But I can remember at 7:30 in the evening, I needed to get Jamesy into bed. I needed to get you off the machine, and I needed. So
this was when I was still doing
you
daytime.
You were still on daytime, and I needed to collect Matthew from cricket in the village. And I was like, what am I going to do? I got got to do it all at once. So I threw James into bed. No, you can't have a story. I persuaded Patrick.
It's Dad's fault.
Yeah, no, I didn't say. And then you added 10 minutes, and then I raced into the village to go and collect you from cricket club. And I said, no, you can't throw another ball. You were just wanted to just hang around, muck out around with your friends. I was like, no, you can't. You need to come now. And then raced back and, got Dad off the machine, which I shouldn't have really left you at that time. Towards the end of a dialysis session, you get a little bit woozy. And so it was, and then you began, age 9, to realise it was really affecting your life. Like we were just talking about being at the island, our wonderful family camp camp up on the Thames. You just absolutely mad about fishing. Just want to spend hours fishing. And like you just said this morning, yesterday you went fishing, just one more cast, just one more cast, just one more cast. And that's what you were like when you were 9, just one more cast. And I mean, no, we need to go because Dad needed to dialyse on a Sunday afternoon. So we were at our campsite for Saturday and one night, and then lunchtime, we have to go. Wherever we were, we have to go now. We have to go now. So constantly, wherever we are, we have to go now. And it really affected us as a family. I found it hard. I mean, Patrick found the drinking hard. I found holidays and being able to just get away hard, particularly when we were living in London. And particularly with you boys, I just wanted to get you out climbing trees and fishing and doing those sorts of things, or just to go and visit Granny.
Yeah.
Can we go and have a night with Granny? No, we can't. And, those sorts of things. Or that's when you're on nighttime. No, I can't go and have a night with Granny. And so anyway, aged 9, you began to realise it was really affecting your life.
Was I complaining?
No, you were.
I think
you couldn't
we were
articulate it. You couldn't articulate it, but it was. I just began to notice you got a little bit huff and puff with. We've got to go now. We've got to leave the island, and go home.
I'm sorry. That's very selfish of me.
Don't be ridiculous. It was no, and so this was what's incredible about the timing of it, of switching to nighttime, because then as soon as Dad's on the machine at home, you're in bed. And you didn't even notice. Yeah. And he was off. He came off at 6:30 in the morning, and then get you up, dress, breakfast, school. You didn't affect you and didn't notice. The overnight thing again. Couldn't have a night away, go with Granny, organising holidays. Yes, we did begin to notice, but it was a game changer, and Dad was so much healthier.
Yeah.
And happier, not being able to. Not having to crunch. At one point you said to your consultant, I've got a problem, my teeth seem to be hurting. And he said, well, I have no idea what that is. Because he didn't know that you were crunching thermoses of ice all the time. And I'm like, I think it might be the ice that's hurting your teeth.
So how many years have you been on dialysis for now?
It's the dog just having a shake. How long?
33 years.
33 years, is it? Yeah.
Which is also amazing, because that's quite a long time.
Yeah. So, not many dialysis patients last that long, to be brutally honest.
I always think about poor old Jonah Lomu, the rugby player, incredible All Blacks rugby player, who had exactly the same condition as you, nephrotic syndrome. Yeah. I mean, what that guy did with his condition was incredible. I mean, I think he even played with a transplant.
Yeah, he did.
Which was extraordinary, considering it's very vulnerable, just tucked in front of you. And
Bonnie.
But anyway, bless him, he died from heart failure. Yeah. And that is, my understanding, is a thing for renal patients, because as you were talking about the pressure on your heart, renal patients often die from heart failure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's often not the kidney disease.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's such a great thing that you're able to have nighttime dialysis, and that just freed up your time and the day and family life, but also just health for you.
How many of my sports matches and James' sports matches would you have missed?
If I had been on daytime, I mean a lot. Whereas I'm not sure I missed any. Maybe one or two.
Which is crazy.
Well, that again was one of our somewhat unconventional, unusual lives. So, quite often for a married couple, one goes out to work, the other looks after it. And so the time spent between husband and wife can be quite limited. It's kind of weekends and evenings probably, because you're separated by one going to work and the other one at home looking after the kids. But we didn't have that. Largely we were together a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, gosh, that would be a whole other subject
Yeah.
on
We'll
our
get onto that.
on
Yeah.
our finances.
It might be a little
work.
mini series.
But
Yeah.
part of that was I was able to come to both of us, but it was an absolute priority to come to yours and James' rugby match. It was the highlight of my week, is coming to those games. And I loved it.
I remember feeling so much comfort and, I guess, stability knowing that you would be there as well to watch. Because not everyone had that at all. You were like the team's constant, our mascot.
Kia ka!
Oh, can you talk about when you said how everyone would ask what your dad does?
Yeah. And I didn't really know what to say when...
Well, I didn't either, so there's no way you
As
were
in
gonna
Matthew's friends
Yeah.
at sports games would always say, what does your dad do for work? If he's always at the matches, what does he do?
I didn't know what to say, so I just told them, I can't tell you. And went down the route of, I'd love to tell you, but I can't. And then rumours started going around, have you seen the scars on his arms? Have you seen the dent in his head? I think he's a hitman.
So funny.
And you didn't quash those.
I can't tell you, I'm sorry.
Well, he might be, I don't know.
Then I think that story morphed into the fact that you were a stuntman or something. I don't know.
I don't know,
funny.
assassin or something.
Yeah, I think that's a good kind of a kind of briefish summary of how the last few years have looked, particularly with like dialysis and how that shaped your lives.
It gives a bit of context, doesn't it, for I guess the rest of the episodes and talking about our lives. And
and I guess another preface is like, you guys obviously don't really share that story that much now because a lot of people know it or they've walked with you in the journey of life, or you think it's boring, but I think it's helpful for people to understand the realities of what life's look like. But also I just want to say that you guys very much live in a constant mindset of gratitude, and so like just saying how long you've been on dialysis for, like it's also grateful that like, you know, we're all still here having conversation, because that's
Absolutely.
You know, I know there's been times where it's always been a bit touch and go as well, and so like as much as we're talking about the difficult times of life, recognizing that also there's a huge element of gratitude in just being here and having these conversations, which is another reason why we want to capture it and to kind of have it forever.
And you were told you couldn't have children? Is that right?
Not quite.
It was not a definitive you won't, but it was very much kind of it's unlikely,
Right.
because of my health situation. So they were saying it's not impossible, but it's unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are.
And here you are.
Speaking of here we are, is there anything anyone would like to say to Jimmy?
Oh,
Across the pond?
Jimmy's
He's
just
just
arrived.
arrived.
Just arrived in Australia this morning in the
Yeah.
early hours. Oh, Jimmy. We start. Oh, I love you, Jamesy. Missing you. Wish you were here.
Yeah.
We need you, Jamesy.
Miss you.
We
Have
can't
fun.
afford the extra mic, so it's good that you're not here. But missing you, and you'd have some very good additions, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from you.
Yes. No, exactly.
But we hope you're having a wonderful time in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. And just be careful of all those animals, both in the sea and on the land, that just seem destined and desperate to kill any human being they can lay their
the
hands
three
on.
S's: snakes, spiders, and sharks.
Yeah.
And a J, jellyfish. And
Yeah.
Dad won't be coming to visit James, and that's not because he can't with dialysis, it's because of all the things that'll kill him when he gets there.
I'm surprised there's any human beings alive in Australia, to be honest.
Is there anything else we want to... We've talked about how long we're going to do this podcast for, and we might be sick of this by this week. But we talked about doing it for 1 year.
Yeah.
every week.
Every week for 1 year, and set an end date basically, or a check-in, and just see how we're doing, so that we're not
boring you or stupid.
Yeah.
But also, I think the reality is, like, as you can tell, this is very relaxed. It's very chilled. Like, it's not going to be a polished podcast.
Absolutely not.
It's just a chill chat, breakfast with the PMs.
Yeah. Grab a drink. Join us.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Is that the end?
No,
Yeah.
sorry. That's a bit abrupt, isn't it?
Would anyone like to add anything else before we close?
I mean, I suppose the only thing I'm thinking, podcasts are so popular that everyone's doing a podcast, aren't they? And so, I kind of say don't waste your time on ours. Because there's plenty of others out there way better.
Yeah. If you are listening, you must have got lost somewhere along the way. So,
Yes.
welcome.
What are you doing?
Welcome, but you don't have to stay.
Yeah. But we'd love you to.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess that's it for this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little
Hopefully it sets up where we're going
Yeah.
and what we're thinking.
an intro, a bit of context in our family, a little bit of where it could be going, but we're very open for it to evolve, and we don't know what we're going to talk about really yet, do we? It's just going to be each day as it comes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. If you have made it this far, I guess we'll be posting another one in a week's time. But if not, then you know what's happened to it. It was rubbish. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. And from our family to yours, love you, bye.
Love you,
Love you,
bye.
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 Bye, bye, bye.